Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mari Gambian Olun to Kadi Baroti, Temo PL Physician Assistant, America, and Telemotana Jambi, Purnal Kacha Continendi, Gambian Kumasenu last week. Last week, not an Jandenal Kachata Sasala Kafame stroke. Stroke explain ne wala sasame ya lonko ko akamol mutal brain naka problemo akamol sort problemo nyin kaso brain ne to molla brain to jam men be mol to jam so malum brain ni ko nyame mani kakamto kal haklo blandi dro last week brin nata janga explain the stroke sifa major type stroke men ke soto comme ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke me alon ko follow me alon ko comme yolo ka barsilo men namol la brain kono pour kan na brain supply yolo la ani nutrient wala kasuki so ninji suki ta yolo buka tambino je so wado nyim plaque la ka form je comme cholesterol men alon kam betaya ye ni tata mon la blood vessel to ye laji mollo yele bro silo la isina ye waraje ye silo nyinta ya suki wado mo nekake ni wonata footing so ila balo nyin kono protein sol bi jere men yalon koy kana ikadu lal dada ni tinyata sunu wol nata je clot nyin kasiya je fana yelo baka borino je wado clot nyin kabo mon la hat le kono comme une meni sa so to ka fo atrial fibrillation e clot sol se kana no jele ta mon la yelo boro silol to men mol ko kono e tay maranje ni maranta je yelo te tambinola so mol si stroke so nada fa stroke do fana bije kamol mete ka fo ko hemorrhagic stroke wala bleeding stroke ti comme veselo ñi yele borsilo ñi aka likle yelo ñi ka bon kono brain ñi cell so ko brain so tissue ñi kono wala yele borsilo ñi ay footing ida yele borsilo ñi wada ka wikle ka fay ko aneurysm pipe ñi kono ta ñi ka wikle na wikta si footing nole so wo yelo ñi asi bombol kono so na bonta je wo yelo ñi fana ka brain tissue ñi aka irritate le brain tissue ñi sina ay swelling soto wala ay yitimulun ketem so brain ñi baring abe molla skull la kono skull ñi muñi coming fenko de bone ñi nati ten so abuka expand no ate continent la ka expand wo ñama so la brain ñi si damage ye stroke so sign bin na topic ko be kala minute wala risk factor of stroke risk factor wala ite mo ñi me stroke so mo sa sal ci tare no la wala ci kuwol me alan koy sike me atinda ko stroke si imutano wala risk factor de and some of these risk factor ni imari tesi moneski no fana pour si la fenko tala ila risk factor ni sa tala pour si kana stroke so no so comme stroke follow me nga explain wa ischemic stroke me alan ko silo ni nakasuki ya jele ko mol me alan koy sanji tandan so to kata santo ni stroke asiya wol konale ina taje fana ko mol me alan koy sasa so te ka fo ko high blood pressure hypertension wala yele seloti ni yele selo be like sin sasa so to nole especially ni la yele selo ni bu kamporo ta ila yele selo ni amount control ila blood pressure ka to high rim dron is a problem so to nol ina taje mol me alan koy i warata baake ka fo obesity comme ko mol ka ideal body weight so to based on ila height and ila weight ila BMI ka mezo wala bari yaje ko modol bije ka wara bakele so ni warata bake wakati na ko kanyin si risk factors to for stroke so imari nyanta tale exercise kana so ye over wara wo nyama yaje la fana ko mol me yalan ko ka siga saba kanyin sabar fengol ma siga ani men yalan ko drogol men yalan ko mambete ya ko min ko ken nyolten ni ke ima ida ke sabale bang wala ke snot le ba wala ke inject le ba you can be risk for this stroke ina raje fana men yalan ko le cholesterol siata cholesterol mu kemolti fat men yalan ko am bete yam balo ko no an ka soto na domorol men den ke domo so ni ngi cholesterol domorol do men yalan ko nyim fat sol siata ji especially fat sol men yalan ko bete yam balol to ni yo cholesterol nyin ta na siate balo ko no abiti lale la blood vessel be borna damen to ko kono comme pipe men bije isi form no jele plaque form wo plaque ñun le bina warala fo partial obstruction ke ni nate 14 tapana so chemical reaction men ka je pour balo ye heal mo clot si form no jele pour mari si stroke so no so ñun mu risk factor ti men yalan ko mo si stroke so no last week fananga explain ne comme mini stroke ka fay ko transient ischemic stroke wala TIA neo mini stroke soto coming ko stroke symptom was totally very quickly within a few seconds minutes to hours aka resolve is symptom was soto no but symptom won yinte last la wonyama ni CAT scan ke wala MRI ite fenjela water scan nyimbe clear la be negative lale but sometimes work because clot nyim nata jele temporarily abataje so imari symptom soto bari nata resolve so ni mari ko soto wala nene o TIA sa soto imari will be at risk for stroke ni soto inata fa fana mene yalon ko ila family comme family history ni atre ba ma ni meldanta yelola iba ma ifama ila onklolo ila antiñol il mamañol wala do malu o koto malu ni nyin stroke soto ite fana you can be at risk for any stroke soto so these are some of the risk factors many along ko molsi ni abele is a stroke soto no inada fana coming second part of second stroke si famen nga explain wala bleeding stroke ti wo stroke ni ya jele ko many along ko ka high blood pressure bela man control ni high blood pressure bela wala ni yele solota man control is hemorrhagic stroke soto nole inata je fana men ka siga saba ani men ka cocaine ma especially cocaine ni hemorrhagic stroke asiata men ka cocaine ma ani illicit fenko do bi drug ka fay ko methamphetamine so wo methamphetamine fana ni ka ma ka fay crystal meth you'll be at risk for stroke ni isa soto no so inata fana nyim bleeding stroke mol men ya lon ko e ka blood tinata sa dol bi je ka mol muta e ke borol mi lon ko pour ila yelol ni asi jom polong coming ko wado mol ka sa soto me lon ko protein deficiency dol ka tara ka fay do bi protein C protein S deficiency nyol because soto so e ka clot sol yelol ni mbo ka jom pola ka clot sol form and dol bi je fana nu ka sa soto comme ka fay DVT nyolu comme a clot soto e surgery ke clot soto wala buka move around in at blood stimbite singoto isingo ko mala tay clot soto je wala sa soto ka fami ko atrial fibrillation mi yalon ko heart ni electricity lam problem wote je so heart ni buka tara pompi lo nyama so heart ni ka quiverent keten so nabe wala yelo ni ka je asimbi as clot form no lo clot stand mo la brain so pour wo clot kana form e ka borol di molla comme ka borol tol dobi ka fay committing ko borol bari Seattle borol say Seattle ñuwa agent sol bi jeel comme ala question zéro to ñal wol mu borol ti melan ko ka di mo la pri la yel si yampolon so ni ka ñum borol tay ñante fantul haklo le fantal because it's bleeding stroke to nole dol fanam bi je comme ka sa soto ka fay aneurysm comme blood vessel ni yelo ka bori blood vessel menna ni atra la lining membije amantra amam bamba so ni wo fatintate isi bleed nole so isi hemorrhagic stroke to no so nata fa fana ko ni stroke si fa be whether number 1 or 2 me alon ko suki ko ni blood vessel ka suki wala blood vessel ka fati bleeding so it doesn't matter what do buka any risk factor so comme nga ni sa sal men poten maybe sa sal de mi te fa muta wala ni man siga saba wala ni man ni drug so ma bara ila family fanan ko ni sa tije bar hani size stroke so nole so comme mene sa sal so nga men mention what a higher risk bari hadata fam pentela is stroke so nole so bimbe dan na janne kan ka explain mo these are the risk factors for stroke but nim butana next time mba explain and stroke ye mol muta ikalo nyaadi le ni moji be ko isi suspect of baby stroke le bala ndu nyanta mo nekala na next kata be kala wolti mo la video e jamba. So for those who don't speak Mandinka, today we discussed about the risk factors of stroke. Last week we discussed the two major types of stroke, that's the ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke. That's hemorrhagic stroke, the other name is bleeding stroke. So the risk factor for both these strokes are hypertension, that's high blood pressure. Usually for ischemic stroke, it's common in people who are above the age of 40 years old and people with heart disease, coronary artery disease, or people with AFib. They are at risk for ischemic stroke. People with high cholesterol can also be at risk. Obesity is a risk factor. That's you are, bigger, your weight is you're overweight. Your BMI is high, you can be at risk factor. It is a risk factor for stroke. If you have a family member like your mom, your dad, your siblings or grandparents, aunts and uncles, if any of them have stroke, you can also be at risk for stroke. Other people who smoke cigarette or do cocaine or illicit drugs like cocaine or crystal meth, they can be at high risk for stroke, especially hemorrhagic stroke. And if you do have what's it called, TIA, if you had a TIA in the past, you can also be at risk for major stroke, either ischemic stroke or hemorrhagic stroke. So if you have a TIA, make sure that your doctor will walk you up to really find out what your risk factors are and try to help decrease those risk factors for you. Sometimes people do have what is called aneurysm. If you have aneurysm, you can be at risk for hemorrhagic stroke. Sometimes people are on medications, and these are blood thinners like Coumadin, because they have other diseases like blood clots in their legs called DVT, deep vein thrombosis, or they have atrial fibrillation, or they have other blood clotting disorders. They can put them on blood-thinning medication like Coumadin, Eliquis, Xarelto. If you are on those medications, you can be at risk for hemorrhagic stroke. So we'll stop here for now. I don't want the video to be long. Next week I'll be back and we will discuss more about signs and symptoms of stroke. What, if you look at somebody, if they're having symptoms, what are those symptoms and what you can do to help them out. Thank you so much. Until next week, have a great night. Bye-bye.